Hi, hey, hello, I'm Chelsea. Welcome or welcome back to my channel where we talk books. Today I have a very big book haul for all of you. I feel like one of my very first videos was a book haul, and that was a long time ago, or not that long ago. It feels like a long time ago. But since then I have accumulated a couple more books. A couple of them I've even read already, and so we'll get into that when I talk about those books. But I try my best, try very hard to not go overboard with the amount of books that I buy. Am I failing? Yes. Yes, I'm failing at that. Because I have, I think, 11 books here that I have bought. You know what? I'm not doing that bad. I've accumulated these since maybe December. So like 3 months, 11 books. 3 months? Oh my god, 3 months? Yeah, so I guess I'm not doing that great at the not buying many books thing. But yeah, so today we are going to have a book haul. Let's get into it. So this is my, let's see, how do we, I can't even get myself and these books into this shot. That is how tall this stack of books is. It could be worse though. Let's just start with the one on top, which is not one I'm gonna read anytime soon. So why did I buy it, you may ask? Because it was $2. So I can't, it's $2 for a book is almost unheard of in Canada. I got it from the thrift store literally like a day ago. So it's fresh. And I will probably read it closer to October. It is Anne Rice's Interview with a Vampire. It's a classic, I think. I don't know. The movie is like a classic. I love that movie, which is why I was interested in this book. Did I fall in love with Brad Pitt in this movie? Yes, I did. Is that one of the reasons I bought this book? Maybe. So if you are living under a rock and have never heard of Anne Rice's Interview with a Vampire, it's literally the title. It is a young man's interview with a vampire, and this vampire goes through like his entire life. I think his entire life, from like the beginnings of his being a vampire to now. Let's just read a bit of what some people said about this book on the back. Unrelenting, erotic, sometimes beautiful, and always unforgettable. Like, you know, you can't really go wrong with Anne Rice, I don't think, but I've never read. I've only seen the movie. So, we'll see. We'll see about that one. Another one that is a relatively recent find. I got this one because if you are ever in Toronto and are looking for like a good book, a good place to find a deal, you got BMV, which is Books, Music, Video. And there's one on Spadina, and then right next to it, there is a 3 for $10 books. I'm pretty sure it's part of BMV, and it's like they're trying to get rid of the books that they've had for a really long time. So it's 3 books for $10. Wow, what a steal. And there I found this one, which is a classic, I believe. The Call of the Wild by Jack London. You know, it's my year of classics. Have I read many this year? No, not yet, but I will. I will have an entire month dedicated to reading classics. I promise. Maybe even my entire summer will be dedicated to reading classics. But, yeah, this one I know nothing about. I don't know anything about. Call of the Wild. I think I saw the movie at some point. Is there a movie? I don't know. I've heard of it, but I don't know much about it. Take a trek with Buck the dog and await the Call of the Wild. There you go. I think it's like a young adult book, and it's short, and it's a classic. So many reasons why I picked this one up. That's basically it. Next up was part of the same 3 for $10 deal. And I was actually looking for this one when I went to the bookstore that day, and I could not find it. So I feel like it was meant to be. I was meant to go to this 3 for $10 bookstore and find this book. And that is Philip K. Dick, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? I picked this one up because Blade Runner, the classic, the original, the one with Harrison Ford, one of my absolute favorite movies, which is weird because I'm not a sci-fi person. I'm not into sci-fi. But I will watch that movie 100 times, and every time I'm like, best thing I've ever seen in my life. Last time I watched it, which was like maybe a year or two ago, I cried at the end. You know, that scene always gets me. So, I have always been curious about the book that it was based off of, which is this one, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. I'm not sure how closely the movie is based on the book, but from the back, it sounds very similar. Let's see. War has left Earth devastated. Through its ruins, bounty hunter Rick Deckard stalks in search of the renegade replicants who are his prey. That sounds identical to the movie. So I guess this is going to be very similar, which is exciting because I love Blade Runner. I wonder if I will cry. Probably not. I'm assuming the ending of that movie felt very Hollywood. So I don't think it's going to be the same ending, but you never know. Yeah, so we've got that one. Next up, I've got another one that I literally picked up like the other day. And this one I've wanted to read for a long time. I've heard that it's like really good. Oh, it's a Canadian book. Anyway, yeah. And that is, I think it's a young adult book. The Marrow Thieves, which is, I believe, an Indigenous story. The Marrow Thieves by Sherry DeMoline. I have heard a lot about this book, and I've basically only heard good things. So I'm excited to delve into this. Oh, and the back is very, very intriguing. Just when you think you have nothing left to lose, they come for your dreams. Wow! I'm invested. I want to know more, actually. So I'm really excited for this one. And I feel like I need to read the entire thing because it's very short, and I'm fascinated by this. What is the little thing on the back of the book called? I can't remember. Summary? Whatever the thing on the back of the book is called, it's very short and it sounds interesting. In a world nearly destroyed by global warming, the indigenous people of North America are being haunted by their bone marrow, which carries the key to recovering something the rest of the population has lost, the ability to dream. Frenchie and his companions, struggling to survive, don't yet know that one of them holds the secret to defeating the Marrow Thieves. I want to read this now. But I have too many things on the go. But this will definitely be a read that I get to soon, because that sounds so interesting. I'm really excited about that one. I didn't even look at the back of it yesterday. I saw it at the bookstore and I was like, $2.99? Yes, please. And that is why I did that. Next up, we have a book that I have read. I'm gonna count it in this haul, but technically I borrowed it from a friend. but I read it so I can give it back to my friend, but I still have it, so I'm going to show it to you. Anyway, we'll count it as part of my haul. But really, my friend probably wants this back. And that is called, I actually just read this one, like not even a week ago, so it's fresh. And that is Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield. I didn't know much going into this book. I had really not heard too many people talk about it, I don't think. But my friend suggested it, she had it, and she let me borrow it. And so I read it relatively quickly. It was a really quick read. It's like 200 pages. So it's a quick read. Did I enjoy it? I don't know. I was fascinated by the idea of it, which is this woman, it's a couple, 2 women, and one of them is like a bioscientist, a marine biologist is the term I was looking for. And she goes in a submarine on a research project, which you don't really know too much about what the research project is or what it is that they are researching. It seems as though they don't really know what they're researching. It's a team of 3, 2 women and a man. And something goes wrong, something goes awry, and they get lost at sea. And then, you know, months go by and her wife is like, you know, what happened? Where is she? So the wife just miraculously returns. And something is wrong. She is off. There are weird things going on. She does not seem herself. And strange things are happening. And her wife is struggling to figure out what is going on and how to help. And then you also get chapters from, let me see their names actually. Mary is the wife, and then Leah is the marine biologist who goes missing and then appears. So you get Leah's perspective while they were in the submarine. It felt very, it's interesting because it felt very like the Titanic submarine, you know, the one from last year that like, what was that? The Titan sub or whatever that was looking for the Titanic and then, you know, imploded. That is exactly almost how this felt if they had returned. So my issue with this book was that it was really slow. That was basically it. I like, for such an interesting concept, I felt at times uninterested. It was just too slow-paced for me. Even though it was a quick read, I know that doesn't make sense, but it was, because it's such a short book, it's like 200 pages. It felt long, and I found myself disinterested sometimes. However, the writing was beautiful, and the story was unique. But it is considered like a horror novel, and I didn't get that. It wasn't horror enough for me. It was no Stephen King horror type situation. Anyway, that was that book. Next up, why did I get this? I'm concerned for this one because I've seen it all over TikTok and Instagram. Instatalk, Instabook, Bookstagram. And I've seen it quite a bit on BookTube. And sometimes those books, especially the book talk ones, the ones on TikTok, no, not for me. I'm gonna actually stay tuned because I'm gonna do a video on the book talk popular books that I have read, and hopefully this one won't be on it because I haven't liked any book talk books. But that's for another time. And that is All About Love by Bell Hooks. Yeah, I've seen it all over, but I haven't heard many people actually like say whether they like it or not. I don't know anything about it. The acclaimed first volume in her love song to the nation. I don't know. The word love is most often defined as a noun, yet we would all love better if we used it as a verb. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I got it. I now have it, and at some point I'm sure I'll be in the mood to read it. I don't know that I'm gonna like it. Mainly because it's like a popular on Book Talk, and I'm not really into those books. So next book I feel like sounds similar to the one I was just, my pile of books is falling. I feel like it sounds a little similar to the one that I just showed. So that's wonderful. How did I end up with two of almost the same books? I could be totally wrong about that though. And that is Tiny Beautiful Things, Advice on Love and Life from Dear Sugar by Cheryl Strayed. I did read Wild, which is also by Cheryl Strayed, a nonfiction, like autobiography. I don't know how I felt. That was okay. Am I going to be telling everybody to read it? No. But this one somebody gave me as a birthday gift, and they said that they loved it and that they recommend it to everybody. And I know that there's a Disney Plus show called Tiny Beautiful Things that I believe this is based off of, and I did watch that and I enjoyed it. So that's promising. It's promising. And I know that she's a good writer, because I did, like, the writing in Wild was pretty good. Do I know what this one is about? I believe she's a writer in she writes advice columns, and her name is Dear Sugar. And Dear Sugar is actually Cheryl Strayed. It says, life can be hard, your lover cheats on you, you lose a family member, you can't pay the bills. And it can be great. You've had the hottest sex of your life, you get that plum job, you muster the courage to write your novel. Okay, so yeah, that is that. I have it, and let yourself be gutted, let it open you, start here, is what it says on the side. So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of like self-help books. I'm not sure if that's what this is going to be. I really dislike them. Yeah, I don't really like self-help books, so I hope that's not what that is. Next up we have a thriller. I totally forgot that I have this, but I do, and I got it not that long ago, and I've already forgotten about it. Ugh, not good signs. And that is called The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson. Chilling and hypnotically suspenseful. Could be an instant classic. Okay, says Lee Child. I know nothing about this book. Absolutely nothing. I think, oh, you can see he's in his little bed giving himself a wash. I think I've seen this on Bookstagram and maybe BookTube, and I don't know anything about it. I know it's a thriller, and I know it has something to do with an airport. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Let's see here. On a flight from London to Boston, Ted Severson meets the stunning Lily Kinter. Over martinis, the strangers play a game in which they reveal intimate details about themselves. Ted talks about his wife, Miranda. Wait, Miranda. Oh, Miranda is his wife. I was like, wait, I thought the girl was named Lily. Miranda is his wife. And how their marriage has gone stale. Blah, 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 blah. Something about betrayal. What begins as playful banter between Ted and Lily takes a swift turn when Ted claims, half seriously, that he would like to kill his wife. Ooh, okay, I can only imagine where this goes. I'm sure Lily is then like, sure, I'll do it for you for this price. Yeah, that is the kind worth killing. I've heard about this somewhere, and that's why I got it. At the time that I got that book, it was probably fresh in my mind. I had probably just seen it somewhere. And that is why I picked that one up. Okay, next up, we have a winner of the Pulitzer Prize. So there's something going for it. And also the Andrew Carnegie Medal for Excellence in Fiction. This one has won some awards, but I really have not heard anybody talk about it. I've heard nothing about this, but I do know there's a show coming out, so I want to read it before that happens. And that is The Sympathizer by Vet Dang Niang. I don't think I said that right at all, so I apologize. Yeah, this I don't know anything about. It intrigued me because it's red. Whenever I'm in a bookstore and there's like red and yellow, it just like pops. It's just like you immediately go to it because it is almost like a caution warning. And I'm like, yes, I love dangerous things. It's a 100 notable book from the New York Times best reviews. It's clearly got something going for it because it's got a lot of things, a lot of prizes. And earlier this year, I saw an article about how they have a HBO show coming out based off of this book. And whoever wrote it was like, it's the best show HBO has come out with in years. But I don't know anything about it. So I think it was just a promo. It sounds like it was maybe just a promo for the show that I know nothing about and don't even know when it's coming out. Sometime this year, I think. But this was a winner of the Pulitzer Prize. So it's a Vietnamese American author. And it won the 2016 Pulitzer Prize for fiction. Oh wow, as well as 5 other awards. I know nothing about it, so let's see. With the pace and suspense of a thriller and prose that has been compared to Graham Greene and Saul Bellow. I don't know either of those two authors. The Sympathizer is a sweeping epic of love and betrayal. The narrator, a communist double agent, is a man of two minds, a half-French, half-Vietnamese army captain who arranges to come to America after the fall of the Saigon. And while building a new life with other Vietnamese refugees in Los Angeles, is secretly reporting back to his communist superiors in Vietnam. Oh, wow. The Sympathizer is a blistering exploration of identity and America, a gripping espionage novel, and a powerful story of love and friendship. Sounds interesting. It's a hefty novel, though. It's like 400 and something pages. Why does it seem so much larger than that? Anyway, that's that one. Interested to get to that one at some point this year. Oh, Gus has come to say hello. Next up, I don't know if I'm gonna read this one. I didn't look at the reviews before I got it, and I don't think the reviews on Goodreads are great. I got it as part of the 3 for 10 because I could not find another one that I was super interested in. That's the thing about the 3 for 10. Some of those books they had, it was like a lot of Twilight, a lot of like Harlequin romance stuff. So I picked up this one. And I think I just read the bold in the back and was like, okay, 3 for 10. Like, I want these other 2 books. I gotta pick another one. And that is The Retreat by Sherry Smith. I don't know nothing about this one. How well do you really know your friends, is what it says on the front. And then on the back it says, 4 women, 4 secrets, the weekend that will change them forever if they survive. So, clearly a thriller, women, and something happens on a vacation, I believe, on a retreat. Yeah, I know nothing about this one, so I don't know if I'll get to it. This is captivating. Wry wit drives this exhilarating roller coaster ride by Publishers Weekly. That's an iffy one. I kind of needed to get a book for the 3 for $10, so that's where that one came from. We have one more book. I have read it because I got this one like a month ago. Yeah, I like the cover, and it's in Oprah's book club. So that is Hello Beautiful by Anne Napolitano, who is the best-selling author of Dear Edward. I also read Dear Edward. I think I liked Dear Edward better than Hello Beautiful. I do love this cover though. Like, beautiful. So pretty. But this one, I don't really know about how I feel about this one. I read it a couple weeks ago. It is a Little Women retelling, which is interesting that I picked this one up because I also read Little Women like 2 months ago, in January, I think, in February. So it's interesting that I was drawn to this one very quickly after I read Little Women. The back does not say anything about, oh, it does. It does say an exquisite homage to Louisa May Alcott's timeless classic, Little Women. I did not realize that. I clearly did not read the front. I mean the back. I was polarized by the front. And this had been on my TBR for a while because I had heard good things about it. Essentially, it is a story about 4 women. Yeah, 4 women, sisters. Are we seeing the similarities to Little Women? And one of them gets married young to a man. The marriage does not work out. And she sort of drifts away from her family a bit. And it's really the story of the 4 sisters. But you also have a lot of the story of her husband, William, because he sort of becomes a part of their family through ways that I will not discuss because that would maybe be giving things away a bit. Yeah, it's a profoundly moving portrait of what is possible when we choose to love someone, not in spite of who they are, but because of it. I guess that's accurate. Yeah, I've had some time to sit in my thoughts about this one because I read it a couple weeks ago. And I still can't wrap my head around how I actually feel about it. There are is very clearly inspired by Little Women. Does it do a good job of, you know, paying homage? Yeah, it does. It felt very Little Women. The relationship between the sisters, you know, felt, yeah. The story itself, I don't know. I found sometimes I was bored. Sorry. But if you liked Little Women, like if it's a favorite of yours, potentially you could like this one. But also you might not, because you might be like, nothing beats the classic, and that's true. But, you know, if you're interested to know how somebody takes Little Women and maybe turns it into something very different, this one. Yeah. Those are all of the books. That's my book haul. If you enjoyed the video, maybe give it a like and give my channel a subscribe. That would be great. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time. Bye.